Hello guys, and welcome to episode 3 of my Civilization Beyond Earth playthrough, playing as Integer on Rising Tide. And today's going to continue with a lot of exploration, because I really need to find out where I'm going to put my 4th colonist. So this colonist will actually pick up this resource pod for me, which is something you don't see very often. But the idea is that I don't want to put this colonist too close to Eintracht or Castellan, and find a better suitable place to put it. Now, I can put it anywhere around here, mainly due to the fact there are mountains and what looks like canyons in the way. So we should be okay to settle somewhere down here. I just need to find the suitable place to put it, which we should be able to do with our raptor bug. This explorer doesn't have any expedition modules, so we're just going to continue past that expedition site for now. And this marine's a little bit stuck. I'm probably just going to fortify for one more turn. This solar collector can head above Castellan. I believe we got that from an expedition or a resource pod before. So that will boost our energy a little bit more. And now we have 270 energy with plus 7 a turn at the moment. So let's slowly move on with this explorer. I might want to heal that up actually at some point. Right, so this raptor bug is going to have a quick look around. We picked up 50 energy from that resource pod. And I'm going to get onto the high ground here with the explorer so we can see what's going on there. Over here we've found another derelict settlement, and ideally what I want to do is get more expedition modules as soon as possible on these explorers. So for this quest decision we are going to get extra health from clinics. Definitely something that's needed right now, otherwise we'll plunge into negative health. And my relationship with CEO Suzanne Fielding is in danger apparently. And that may get downgraded, and that's not exactly what I want right now. They are a very powerful nation from the start, with all of those buffs that they get, with the extra combat rovers and marines and so on. And if they attack me, well, Weltgeist would be the first city to be attacked, or Weltgeist, as some of you have been telling me to say it, with a B. I am kind of familiar with German, as I did do German at an elementary level, but it's been a while since I've had to actually speak it. Anyway, let's continue having a look for a suitable place for this colonist. Good thing about that raptor bug is it doesn't get affected by all the miasma. And we're going to get this explorer onto the water. This one can continue round the top side there. And have we found a suitable place yet? Maybe up here would actually be a nice idea. Let me have a quick look at the yield icons. So from there, that's going to be pretty close to Eintracht, but what we could do is put it on this tile. And I think that would be a suitable place to put it. We'll be surrounded by a lot of production early on. And then we can expand maybe towards all this food and energy. Maybe this tile would be better. It's a bit farther away, because down here isn't very good at all. So yeah, I think we're going to head up this direction and probably settle on that tile. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Because this isn't anywhere near other nations except from this one, which is by the massive meteorite crater. Right, let's turn those yield icons off. And we're waiting in terms of diplomatic capital to upgrade our trait again. Not sure quite how long that's going to take. We need 165 and we're currently on 126. We can develop a new virtue though, and we're going to get pathfinders. Perfect. So we can get the extra 3 additional expeditions on our explorers. That means this explorer up here can go back to this crashed satellite and put an expedition on it. Hopefully my explorer doesn't get attacked by that kraken. That would be horrible. A terrible fate for the explorer. So we're actually being recommended to settle on this tile, but we're going to go on the one next to it because I don't want it to be too close to Eintracht. Although actually putting it on that tile wouldn't be too close. We would have a little bit of a crossover, but not too much. So maybe that actually is a good idea to put it on that miasma tile. And we can decide as we get closer. But for now, I need to look at what I need to buy, and I'm going to actually buy a worker with my energy because we do need another one, especially with Eintracht being built and Castellan currently completely undeveloped. And once we get our 3rd level in our trait, we can start to use diplomatic capital to actually buy colonists, which is something I've done in the past. So already a 3rd settlement for Ark as well, and they've got a 4th colonist in Central at the moment, so they are expanding very quickly as well. For this quest decision, we're going to free the engineer. If you'd like to read the next part of this quest, then feel free by pausing it. In the meantime, we're just going to move straight on. And we have to build 1 soldier in Weltgeist in order to complete that quest. So we are going to do that straight away, I think, unless it might be more beneficial to get the worker. I think we're going to go for the Marine first, mainly because I'm not quite sure how much more our relations with Ark are going to degrade. And Ark is actually quite an aggressive nation from what I've experienced in the past. So I'm actually going to use this explorer to get this derelict settlement first. We're going to move on to this miasma tile. And I think that was the one that I was looking at settling on. Yes, it was. So let's set up our settlement there, which is called Weisheit. There you go. A little more German for you guys. And that is all. So I'm quite liking where this one is placed. Not many strategic resources, but a lot of basic resources that will make this settlement very efficient. Having this titanium, that's actually a strategic resource, but the fruit will boost our food in Weisheit, and the fiber will increase our production a lot. So a very good settlement there. Not many turns until we can upgrade our trait as well, which is nice. Need to keep an eye on that. And we need to find an expedition for this explorer. Right, let's just clear up all this fog, and then we'll continue to move towards this nation over here. So another turn, and then I think we'll be able to upgrade that trait. And then all our diplomatic capital after that will more or less be used for fast building stuff, except from when we want to maybe get some health traits, I'm thinking.
You go to war with the soldiers you have. Make sure those are the soldiers you want.
So genetics has been finished, and we can now build the science nursery in Farmer Labs. Right, so we're going to go back through the way we came. Well, we can't, so we're going to probably have to go round. quite frustrating unless we just sleep until healed that turn. So what do we want next? Maybe alien life forms would be a good idea, so we get extra capital from that. And we can also leash alien units, which will be very useful against Ark early on. Ecology may also be a good idea. We can clear miasma and get ultrasonic fences. I think honestly alien life forms would be a really good idea right now. So I'm actually going to head towards that. And we'll start leashing some of these scarabs and so on to help us defend against Ark if they ever attack me. And that will make my explorers even more useful as they continue to explore. Because we'll just pick up loads of aliens and send them back to our lands. And the good thing about aliens actually is that they don't cost any maintenance. So you can have loads of them and it won't cost you a thing. The only big trouble with aliens is they become redundant pretty quickly. So let's continue to move this raptor bug on. We have 2 turns until our expedition is complete over there. And that explorer's already moved. Currently, Palatine's providing us with 6 culture per turn. And when it upgrades again, will provide us with 10 culture per turn. So I'm going to jump on land here. And what I'm going to do next turn is explore this meteorite crater in order to continue the quest to do with the Marvel. This Marine actually, I need to start moving him on to explore a bit farther. Because he's been sitting there for a while now. But we got 52 culture from that expedition. That's amazing, because that's going to put us very close to completing our next virtue already.
El pueblo unido de Sudamérica le da la bienvenida.
And we've bumped into Brasilia. Now, this isn't exactly the person I wanted to bump into. Brasilia is very warlike. But hopefully we'll have the same goals and we can become allied with Brasilia again. Because Brasilia was like the most powerful ally we had in the last playthrough. And already, yeah. He's starting to like my advanced orbital units and my military unit strength. So that's good. Maybe he can be my ally. So now we're going to pick up that crashed satellite. We'll develop a new virtue, which shall be to get helping hands, plus 15% speed for tile improvements. And actually I might get this free virtue with the tier 1 synergy bonus. And I might put it in labor logistics to get the plus 10% production towards buildings. And then we get a free virtue and I can continue to go down prosperity. Okay, let's see how far we can move on. At the moment we're right next to an alien nest, which is less than ideal. We've mined 1 meteorite crater. And let's see what this says. At the site of a smaller meteorite crater, our field team has confirmed the discovery of pure nitrogen gas. Experimenting on samples from this site has led to a second major discovery. Exposure to this nitrogen can momentarily convert our planet's toxic atmosphere into a form of breathable air. With enough of this new chemical, we could greatly reduce the survival gear needed by our colonists in the field. Workers could forgo their heavy oxygen tanks and breathing masks. Instead, small tanks of nitrogen would be slowly emptied to create localized breathable air around the wearers. We should collect as much nitrogen from these fresh impact sites as we possibly can. So there we go, we got a find 9 more of these things. That's actually a lot. Compared to the other one where we had the hydrocoral brain, that's a lot. But I'm sure there'll be some great benefit of completing that quest. Ah, yeah, you go, aliens. Kill the Ark Explorer. So we just got a quest received to destroy Red Sun. Wow. That's pretty harsh. But that's what we apparently have to do with our Marine unit. So, yeah, not quite sure how this is going to go, as we don't really have the military forces to pull that off at the moment. But I'm going to try and get away from those aliens down there with that Marine. We'll bring up the other Marine to Red Sun, and we can try and destroy it. I might even have to bring this raptor bug back. So we can create an expedition there next turn. Well guys, we are going to now get a worker. And in Castellan, we are going to build a recycler to get extra production early on. This explorer can move on to the meteorite and mine the meteorite crater. And then next, we're probably going to head up towards this frac site maybe, or even down to see who this is down here. So apparently I should revise my roadmap according to Ark. Yeah, not gonna do that. Let's hope this Ark Explorer gets destroyed. Looks like it will. You go, aliens. Yeah. Oh shit. My turn to be wrecked. God damn. I'm way too close to an alien nest. That is shite. Yeah, we're surrounded. That sucks. I think I've lost this Marine unit. Yeah, we couldn't get out of there. We walked into a trap. Okay, right, let's upgrade our trait before I forget another turn. And we now have 44 diplomatic capital. If I go into Weltgeist and go to purchase and purchase with diplomatic capital, you can see a colonist only costs 140 capital, which is like 10 more turns for us. Workers cost 110 capital. You know, all of these buildings cost way less than they probably should. This is like a really, really OP trait. But we're going to get Old Earth Relic in Eintracht. And I think that's everything, so we'll move on to the next turn. This Explorer. I'm thinking we'll actually go back on ourselves a little bit. We'll come down to this guy, then we'll go back up and back down again. Try and find some expedition sites. Some progenitor ruins, stuff like that. Hopefully we can find some more artifacts. So we now have a quest received to create a trade route with Red Sun, but we also have a quest to destroy it. So I'm not sure if by completing one I'll fail the other. But I don't know whether to move or fortify this Marine. I think we're just going to keep running, and I'll see if I can get away from there without it dying. Because I think even if I fortified it that turn, then it would still likely die if it got attacked, so I don't think that's worth doing. Let's just move on. This raptor bug has found Manuel, the second settlement for Brasilia. Oh, look at that. Gran Exeter also being founded by Liqueur. And we didn't get attacked, thank God. Okay, what was that quest that got updated? I completely just skipped that by accident. Hostile takeover, destroy Red Sun. Okay, so we can't do growth potential and hostile takeover. So we'll have to do one or the other. For sure. I'm going to fortify until healed that marine unit now. Let's get up onto this hill, see what's going on there. Okay, we'll have to continue to move on. Can't really go up there, but we can see what's going on around Citadella, so we'll do that. And only 3 turns until the expedition is complete. And I think that's everything, yeah. So we're just going to keep moving on. Going to leave that marine there just to heal up. So I'm not sure how much damage this marine will take if we attack Red Sun, but it can't be good. So in Weltgeist, what I'm actually going to do is probably get like a submarine or like a gunboat maybe, and we'll like bombard Red Sun. The other thing we could do is maybe get combat rovers and just take it by force, but I think that the best idea would be get a gunboat, and that will be useful just to explore the outside of the map and also like defend our settlements early on. So I think I'm going to go for that. We'll get the gunboat underway, unless something else would be better to get at this point. Like, it's really tempting to get the Farmer Lab, but let's see what negative effect our health is having. Minus 4% culture in cities, minus 18% speed towards outpost growth, and minus 18% growth. Yeah, I think we kind of need to sort that out sooner than later. So I think the Farmer Lab's probably the best idea for now. And what I can actually do is, if I save up diplomatic capital, how much is a gunboat going to cost? 190. Okay, so I think I'll just save for that instead of getting something else. And this turn, I'm tempted to test how much damage we'll do to Red Sun, but I'm not going to bother. So we're just going to go up to the peak here and explore. So we found a crashed satellite, but we can't get that because it's on miasma. And this work is going to get automated. Not quite sure why it went upwards. But Suzanne Fielding has downgraded her relationship with me. So just having a little more explore with the raptor bug. Might actually start to bring that back towards Red Sun, because we'll complete 2 quests by taking that over. We got 80 production for Weltgeist, and that's going to complete our Farmer Lab in 1 turn, so that's awesome. And now this explorer can continue exploring. In Weltgeist, our next project is probably going to be another worker, I'm thinking. Or maybe even a thorium reactor. Yeah, I think we should get a thorium reactor actually, because we'll get the quest to upgrade the thorium reactor, so it gives us 5 energy per turn, and that's actually really, really good. We're going to jump this explorer onto the water there, and we'll set up an expedition on that alien skeleton next turn. So let's set that up, and we'll move down with this raptor bug. Oh, there's a lot of expeditions down there. We've got 1, 2 that we can get with this explorer, so I'm actually going to head my explorer in that direction to pick those both up. We only have one expedition module left though. I think our level 2 in Supremacy actually gives us an expedition module. If I jump into our affinity. Yeah, level 2 Supremacy gives us an extra expedition. So we could possibly push for that. And by the time this explorer gets over here and finishes it with the expedition on 1, we should have level 2 in Supremacy. Or at least I'd hope so. In Castellan, we are going to work on a clinic. That's only going to take 4 turns and give us the same amount of health as a farmer lab. Let's get onto land with this explorer. And we are still skipping through turns. 62 turns have passed. We're currently saving our diplomatic capital to buy a
If the personality
gunboat.
traits you currently have don't seem as useful.
This settlement, Weisheit, can get an old earth relic. It's only going to take 7 turns because Weisheit has quite a lot of production to begin with, especially with this population working on this fiber tile.
Sputnik, Slawiańska Federacja pozdrawiaje Ciebie.
And our final AI is the Slavic Federation, I think. Unless there's still one we haven't found.
As Adam Smith said, trade is the lifeblood of nations.
So, Suzanne Fielding actually wants to go from sanctioned to neutral, and I'm actually okay with that. We have discovered Shackleton. And I think the only nation we need to discover now is just down here. So we can find out who they are after our explorer has finished with that expedition. And we're currently at minus 14 health, which is not great, so we're going to have to focus on these health buildings. We're probably going to get clinics in both Eintracht and Weisheit after they are finished with their old earth relics anyway, so that's an extra 4 health just there. We've nearly got the one finished in Castellan, and once Farmer Labs are upgraded from the quest as well, we'll have 3 health from those, so we'll focus on building them as well. But unfortunately, that has been my time, so we are going to have to leave it there. A bit less expansion than I would have hoped in this episode, but I still think we're doing relatively well. But in the meantime, guys, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next episode. Goodbye.